Hi, my name is Robin, and welcome to English Grammar Now. Today, we're going to be talking about using it as well as some things we can do with helping verbs. First of all, let's talk about using it in a sentence. In our previous episode, we talked about using there is or there are to describe situations. We can also use it in sentences. It is a pronoun, so it replaces the noun. In sentences that begin with it, our pronoun it is replacing the subject. Here's some examples. It is my birthday. We could also say, today is my birthday. Today is a noun that we can replace with it. We often use it to talk about time. To compare this with there is, a sentence we could write is, there is a birthday party today. In green, we've highlighted the subjects of each of these sentences. Here's another example. Let's walk to the shop. It's not far. In this sentence, it is replacing the shop. The shop is not far. To compare this with there is, we could say, there is a shop not far from here. One more example. How is the weather? It's rainy. In this case, it has replaced the weather. The weather is rainy. We most often use it to replace things about time or distance or weather. If we wanted to compare this with there is and there are, we could say, there was more rain last year. We can use it or there when answering questions. We match the answer with the question. Let's take a look at our chart. When we ask a question beginning with the to be verb, we will use the matching to be verb in the answer. For example, are there dogs at the park? The answer will begin with yes or no. Then we might say, yes, there are. No, there aren't. The second example, was there a window in the room? Yes, there was. No, there wasn't. In the answer here, we also have the past form of to be. The third example, is there a car we can rent? Yes, there is. No, there isn't. The fourth example, is it nice outside? Yes, it is. No, it isn't. You can see that depending on the question, if it uses there or it, we will also use there or it in the answer. One more example. Was it Thursday yesterday? Yes, it was. No, it wasn't. So when we write answers, we make sure to use the same form of to be as in the question, as well as the same pronoun, it or there. We can practice this right now. Here we have 4 answers and 4 questions that are missing the beginning 2 words. Remember, we start with the to be verb and then put there or it. See if you can fill in each of these questions' blanks. Give it a try. Here's the answers for those blanks. For number 1, are there any grandchildren in your family? The answer, no, there aren't. Number 2, is there an ATM in the shop? The answer, yes, there is. Number 3, is it the first today? The answer, yes, it is. And number 4, was it snowing yesterday? The answer, yes, it was. You can see that in each of these pairs of questions and answers, the to be verb is in the same form. We also have the same pronoun, either there or it, in both the question and the answer. Let's take a look at answering different kinds of questions using short answers. We've already seen how to use the verb to be to make a short answer to a question, but we can also use different helping verbs to make other short answers. It all depends on what question we're asking. Take a look at the first example. Do you like tea? We could answer that question with the long form. No, I don't like tea. But if we'd like to make it short, all we need is the helping verb to do. The question has the verb to do, so our short answer will also have the verb to do. In the second example, can he ride a bike? The short answer might be, yes, he can. Because this question uses the helping verb can, we will also use it in our answer. The third question, have they got a pet? The answer, yes, they have. In the next question, will you see her on the weekend? The answer, no, I won't. Remember that for the future, will is a bit irregular. We could say, no, I will not, but it's much more common to say, no, I won't. The last example, should I bring a jacket? Yes, you should. So you can see that using different helping verbs, we can write an answer to different kinds of questions. Another way that we can use helping verbs is to compare two things or two people. Here's some examples of how we might do it. I drink tea, but he doesn't. Now, although the verb to do is not in the first half of this sentence, we've already seen how to do is used if there is no other helping verb, especially if there is no to be verb. So we can use to do to make a comparison between I and he. Because we're comparing, the first half is positive and the second half is negative. I drink tea, but he doesn't. Let's take a look at some other examples. There used to be more choices, but now there isn't. My sister has children, but I don't. I thought I could help, but I can't. We will join you, but Phil won't. I haven't gone there, but Jessie has. You can see in the last example that it's possible for the first part of the sentence to be negative and for the second part then to be positive. Now you give it a try. Here we have sentences that are split into first half and second half. See if you can match the beginnings with the ends of these sentences. Here's a hint. Take a look at which helping verb each part uses. Give it a try. Here's how we would match these sentences. Number 1, I can't come on Thursday, but my brother can. Number 2, she isn't tired, but he is. Number 3, we won't go past your house, but Mr. Taylor will. Number 4, Ryan doesn't speak Chinese, but Carrie does. Number 5, Lainey hasn't heard the news, but I have. you can see that in each of these pairs, the helping verb is the same in the beginning and the end, although one of them is positive and the other is negative because we are making a comparison. One more way that we can use helping verbs is to make something called tag questions. This is where we form a question out of a basic statement. The beginning of a tag question looks like a normal sentence. It begins with a pronoun, then possibly a helping verb and a main verb, and then other information. Then we have a comma, and the last part is the question. Here's some examples. You haven't been here before, have you? Sarah isn't working today, is she? Bill can drive, can't he? Nina will be here soon, won't she? We locked the door, didn't we? You can see that just like what we just studied, if there is no helping verb, we use do or did. When we write tag questions, you'll notice that we also put together a positive with a negative. If the statement has a positive verb, will, then the question tag will have the negative verb, won't. You also might notice that we can use a name in the statement, but we only use a pronoun in the question tag. So we would not say, Nina will be here soon, won't Nina? We replace that with the appropriate pronoun in the question tag. Now it's time for you to try. Here we have the beginnings of what could be a question. We have the statement part. The missing blanks are where you can fill in a question tag for each of these 5. See if you can give that a try. Here's the answers to those question tags. Number 1. It's a beautiful day, isn't it? Those flowers are beautiful, aren't they? This isn't your bag, is it? You lived in South Korea, didn't you? Mrs. Perry comes at 5 p.m. for the lesson, doesn't she? Remember that if the statement has a positive verb, we use a negative verb in the question tag. But the opposite can also be true, like in number 3. The statement has a negative verb, isn't. So the question tag has the positive verb, is. Let's take a look at a conversation that shows us how to use helping verbs in different ways. It isn't that far to the bus station, is it? No, it's not. There's a bus to Kampot leaving at 8 a.m. I think I'll walk to the station. It's going to rain tomorrow, isn't it? I thought it would, but the app says it won't. You have so many bags. You could take a taxi, couldn't you? Can I call one so early? Yes, you can. Here we can see some of those helping verbs highlighted. You can see that some of these helping verbs are making questions out of statements, like at the beginning. It isn't that far to the bus station is a statement, but when we add is it at the end, it becomes a question. You can also see some short answers given. Rona says, no, it's not, and yes, you can. Mary also makes a comparison. I thought it would, but the app says it won't. So there's a difference between what I thought and what the app says. There are so many ways we can use helping verbs. These are just a few of them. Thanks for studying with me, and I'll see you again next time. Goodbye!